What is good? Diamond Dynasty, baby. Y'all already know what's going on in this video today. Man, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, what we're going to be reacting to today. When police unexpectedly film the killer at the crime scene, guys. All right. We are going to be reacting to this video by Explore With Us. Let's get into the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their Aunt Jemima, tell their Uncle Joe. He's still a motherfreaking hoe. Let's get right into the video.
In a strange twist of fate, the police rushed right past their suspect on their way into a horrific murder scene.
Damn.
Not only that, but the...
Damn, that's him? Bruh, that nigga was on the scene. How did y'all not, like, what?
Suspect was also caught on camera by a TV crew outside.
Yo, you have got to be kidding me, bruh. He's right here. And the fact that he's got his hands in his shirt, they probably bloody, like, what?
Not only that, but the suspect was all...
Look, hands behind his back. Hoodie on, like, y'all not paying attention? They ain't about dumb as
their way into a horrific murder scene.
Somebody got fired on this case right here, man, because ain't no fucking way, bruh.
Not only that, but the suspect was also caught on camera by a TV crew
Let's just walk past the suspect.
outside the home, moments after they had just committed...
I know they feel dumb as shit, yo. Got to feel dumb as shit.
...an atrocious act. And despite all of this evidence, they...
Look at this nigga, bruh. First of all, he had his hands in his shirt. And then he put his hands behind his back, y'all. Like, look at this.
Suspect on their way into a horrific murder scene.
Look, hands in his shirt.
Not only that, but the...
And then he getting ready to get arrested. You know what I'm saying? He put his own hands behind his back.
Suspect was also caught on camera by a TV crew outside the home, moments after they had just committed an atrocious act. And despite all of this evidence...
And look, he's walking himself out, like, with his hands behind his back, like he should be.
They shockingly still attempted to act as though they were innocent.
Wow.
Hello? 911. Somebody got in the house and attacked me and my husband, and I'm all bloody.
I don't know what happened. Through a fight, a killing, a robbery. I'm not even a wicked person. I don't want to do nothing crazy or savage, you know.
Crazy and savage barely even begin to describe the absolutely horrific nature of the attack that occurred on that summer night of 2014.
They beat these people in the head, and they're like 100 years old.
Yo, nah. Trying to fuck out of this couple, yo.
2014.
They beat these people in the head, and they're like 100 years old.
Yo.
Somebody come. I need help. Okay, they're on their way there now, okay? And I'm on the floor, and my husband's been hit in the head, and I've been beat on the head. Don't hang up, okay? Don't hang up, period. My head hurts. I'm laying in the hallway.
Yo.
The only element more shocking than the identities of the victims would be the revelation of the weapon used to inflict each
What is it, a spatula, nigga?
devastating blow. Only an incredibly deranged individual would transform such a normal, everyday item into a murder weapon.
What y'all think it is, man? Before we find out what it is, comment down below. But the motherfucker look like a spatula. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all think it is? Comment down below. Let's see who get it right, man.
Individual would transform such a normal, everyday item into a murder weapon. Almost an entire century earlier, in 1916, Rupert Andy Anderson was born in Kearney, Iowa. He married Harriet in 1937, then joined the Navy several years later in the heart of World War II. The two started a family and a successful business. In 1950, Vista Kennels was established in Des Moines, Iowa, on the very property of the home they purchased in 1947. It was Andy himself who constructed the kennel, using repurposed World War II wooden ammunition boxes. Andy spent his career at Anderson Erickson Dairy as office manager until his retirement. All the while, Harriet handled the kennel business until the Andersons decided the time had come to take a step back and enjoy a peaceful retirement together. But, tragically, that wouldn't be the case. In addition to the fact that the couple had no known enemies whatsoever, a motive behind the attack was nowhere to be found. The community and law enforcement alike were completely baffled. It was approximately 7:44 p.m. on July 2nd when the 911 call came in, and it was anything but routine.
Can you tell me what they looked like? The car? What? Did they have a gun? No, I don't know. He had something hard. Piece of metal. He was armed with. Okay, what did he look like? He kept beating me on the head.
Damn, bro.
When my head hurt. Was he white?
That is so messed up, y'all. That is so fucked up to take advantage of some old ass people, bro. That's so messed up, bro. He needs his ass whooped, bro.
Was he white? White or black? He was black. What color was his outfit?
The one y'all walk right past at the front.
I think it was black or white. I think it was white. I can't remember because he was kept hitting me on the head.
That's fucked up, man.
From what the
Poor little
dispatcher
Harriet
was able to gather, Harriet and her husband's home had been invaded, and they'd both been viciously attacked. It would later be determined that Harriet had answered a knock at the door, and immediately, the encounter took a
Y'all need to answer the door with y'all fucking pieces on y'all, man. Like, y'all too old for this.
violent turn. A man barged into the Anderson home. He struck Harriet on the head repeatedly with what was believed to be a metal bar. A lens from Harriet's glasses lay in the entryway, and a
Damn.
hearing aid battery was also reported to have been found nearby.
Sheesh.
It seems that after 94-year-old Harriet had been knocked to the ground, the perpetrator made his way to 97-year-old Andy,
Damn.
where he
Old girl wasn't lying when she said they's damn near 100.
sat defenseless and
That's a blessing, though, bro. To make it to 100 is crazy, bro.
made his way to 97-year-old Andy, where he sat defenseless in his recliner.
That's so fucked
Andy
up.
was brutally beaten over the head, just as Harriet had been. The blood from both victims told a story of unthinkable horror, each strike to the head having created its own pattern of splatter on the walls and carpet. Amazingly, Harriet was able to muster the strength to crawl to a nearby phone, and she had the wherewithal to place the desperate call for help. Approximately 7 minutes after Harriet managed to make the 911 call, the first members of law enforcement arrived at the scene. This particular evening was unique, as the TV show Cops happened to have a camera crew riding along with a patrol officer.
That's crazy.
In fact, we'll hear from the crew shortly, and as you'll see, they'll have some groundbreaking information to share. A dash cam from the second patrol vehicle to approach the home captured the initial activity at the scene.
Look at this dude, man. Like, how did nobody, like, we got to see how this plays out, y'all.
A young man was curiously stationed at the front door of the Anderson home. In the midst of the chaos, officers and the camera crew brushed past the stranger. Bizarre.
Oh, my God. What are we missing here, y'all? At this point, we could all sign up to be cops, fam. You know what I'm saying? We could all sign up to be cops, my nigga. Like, what is this?
Hardly not stopping to ask for his identity, despite the fact that he was standing at the front door of the home where an attack had just taken place. Entering the residence, officers happened upon the
You can see him right here. Look at his body language. Look.
attack had just
He's like, shit, I need to go ahead and peel off right quick. Look.
identity, despite the fact that he was standing at the front door of the home where an attack had just
Look, he thinking about it like, shit, I need to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying?
taken
Let me go on and dip, you know?
place. Entering the residence, officers happened upon the absolutely barbaric crimson surroundings. It was clear that the assailant didn't intend for either victim to survive the ruthless attack. In Harriet's desperate 911 call, she was able to provide a brief description of the assailant.
Was he by himself? Yeah, as far as I know, he was in the house by himself. Okay, and he assaulted your husband too? A young, thin man, and he was black.
Soon after entry was made, officers recalled the description Harriet gave of the
Y'all are
suspect.
stupid as
And it was
hell.
quickly determined that the man who was at the front door, the same man that the officers had simply walked right past, could be a possible match to the description.
They are so dumb, bro.
However, when an officer returned to the entryway,
He was gone.
the mysterious man had vanished without so much as a trace.
Cause y'all are dumb as hell, bro. Like, why the hell wouldn't you detain this nigga at least, bro?
Or so they thought. Harriet and Andy were transported to Mercy Medical Center. Sadly, Andy had succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead at the hospital. And with that, the investigation into a brutal home invasion morphed into one that centered around homicide. It was a miracle that Harriet survived to tell of the vicious attack,
Poor Harriet,
considering
man.
the seriousness of wounds she'd sustained.
Harriet's a soldier, man.
The visible injuries to her head were gut-wrenching, but what could not be seen by the naked eye was much worse. During the course of the beating she'd endured, she had suffered a fracture to her skull. As you'll see, the identification of the weapon couldn't be more shocking. Emergency medical staff managed to stabilize Harriet, and her condition was soon categorized as fair. Back at the crime scene, a potential suspect was located and apprehended nearby. He was handcuffed and placed in the front of a patrol car.
Have a seat. So what's going on?
Nothing.
You got any warrants?
No.
That's that nigga, ain't it?
Did he say what he was doing? Did he say he was walking?
Just so he was walking. He came from the apartments. What happened over there?
Cultivation, right?
He looked
I
guilty.
get your little couple busting him with a metal bar.
But officers
metal
are
bar.
skeptical that the man before them is the perpetrator they are desperately looking for.
Yeah, that's him, ain't it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's him.
6'2", 150.
6'2".
Oh, it's not
Yeah,
him?
that's not it. I'm 6 foot, and I was standing because you can see me run right by him.
You know, that he may have continued into Altoona if that was the right
Wait, hold on. What we at? 7:59. All right, let's look at his. Let's look at his. What he had on.
Into a horrific murder scene. Not
Oh no, that's a different jacket. Unless he changed clothes or something. It's a white jacket right here. Unless he changed clothes. Let's see,
from the apartments. What happened over there?
desperately looking for.
That's awesome.
6'2", 150.
6'2". Yeah, that's not it.
Why is he looking like that though? He must be in some other type of trouble.
I'm 6 foot, and I
He
was
is looking
standing
too guilty.
because you can see me run right by him.
Damn, he is blinking like every minute on or every second on a second.
You know, that he may have continued into Altoona if that was the right track. He may have been ahead of this guy.
You know what's funny is I initially came over here and we were thinking he wouldn't have made it this far already.
That
Soon
nigga
the
nervous as
detective
hell.
arrives and speaks with the individual who's been detained. He quickly confirms that this man does not
That nigga starts smiling like, huh, yeah, get me out this bitch,
speaks
man.
with the
It ain't
individual
me.
who's been detained. He quickly confirms that this man does not match the description of the suspect. The young man's handcuffs are removed shortly thereafter, and he's given a ride to a local restaurant. With that, law enforcement members are back at square one. However, they won't remain in this position for long. The cops' camera crew had also made it to the site where the potential suspect had been detained. In addition to having captured the critically injured victims and the crime scene, they first caught something else that would prove crucial to the investigation. They had footage that clearly showed an image of the man standing at the front door of the Anderson home following the attack. The detective and officers took photos of paused video footage using their cell phones, and with the help of locals within a small radius of the victim's home, the man was identified, and officers were quickly directed to a nearby townhome. It was the residence of Nyanyul Padit, her boyfriend Janab Reith, and their 6 children. It just so happened that Nyanyul's eldest child matched the suspect's description, but upon arrival of law enforcement, the young man was found tucked in his bed, seemingly asleep. He was quite confused as to why officers were in his bedroom. Even so, the young man, identified as Noor McCoy, was detained, placed in handcuffs, and transported to the Des Moines police station for questioning. His mother and her boyfriend followed. Shortly thereafter, detectives began interviews, along with the arduous task of piecing everything together. The following never-before-seen footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney, a licensed clinical psychologist, a former licensed professional counselor, and a licensed professional counselor. They started with the cops' crew, 2 witnesses who were among the earliest to arrive at the grisly scene, and both members of the crew had taken note of Noor upon arrival.
Jesse Reisdorf.
Director, you work for Couch Production?
Yes.
You're the cameraman tonight.
Yes, we got out of the vehicle while we were walking up to the house.
Yeah, he looks physically fit. You have to be a cameraman for cops, nigga. I feel like the cameraman be more in shape than the cops, man.
There was a younger black male standing in front of the door. Yeah, medical showed up. We went outside.
Skip right past
black male was gone.
Despite the fact that Jesse was focused on capturing video footage of the scene,
Look, Jesse was there to do one job, and I'm pretty sure he did it well.
he was able to give a detailed description of the suspect.
Could you describe him to me? Height, stature, age?
He's probably about 5'8", I'd say probably about 140, 150 pounds.
Okay.
Under 20. And he had on a
Under
gray
20.
hooded sweatshirt and what I thought were black or gray basketball shorts with a black stripe. And yeah, that was about it. He had his hood up.
The crew also made their way to the townhome where Noor was detained.
And have you had an opportunity to see the possible suspect that we brought in here tonight? Did you make any observations about if he was the same person you saw at the scene? Could you tell that or not?
Not positively.
Okay.
But it seemed to me that it was, but not positively.
Okay.
At the conclusion of Jesse's brief interview, he reiterated that the man he observed at the townhome was very likely the same man he'd witnessed at the Anderson residence. Jesse's counterpart and audio specialist sat for a brief interview that night as well. And as you'll see, he was more certain of what he'd seen earlier that night.
What's your name again, sir? Carlos Dominich.
Can you just run through what you observed or what you remember hearing about it?
As we were walking in, there was a gentleman who was standing by the door. Gentleman said something about they're cleaning. We thought it was
You said he was there cleaning, something about that?
something to that effect. I also remember him having the puffy cheeks.
Puffy cheeks.
Then, Carlos sums everything up based on his account.
I'm just glad they got him, and it is the guy. I mean, from what I saw, it is the guy. You guys got the right guy.
Did you see him bring blood in here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
No mistaking it. The footage that the crew had captured would prove to be invaluable to the investigation. Detectives decide to speak next with Noor's mother and her boyfriend. While all of the interviews are taking place, Noor has been left on his own in an interrogation room. But that doesn't mean he hasn't already started talking. In about 3 seconds,
He looked like he chilling. And I wonder why he did it. Were you trying to rob the place? Like, what's going on? Because I don't even think he took anything.
you'll see some of his
I guess he couldn't because the cop showed up.
bizarre one-sided monologue.
This world's crazy, man.
No, you crazy, nigga. What?
It's truly crazy. The truth won't prevail.
Okay, bro.
The truth won't reveal itself, so it's crazy.
This nigga's got to be nuts, bro. Look at his... I can't even say haircut. It's not even a haircut. Look how his hair is, man. Dude is
Like,
wild.
literally, this is crazy. I'll never do nothing evil. That's not me. I know myself, man. I don't understand myself.
Yeah, I think he has maybe some psychological issues, y'all, you know?
Pretty well. I know what I would do and what I wouldn't do.
Sometimes when people have these sorts of rambling conversations with themselves, it could be an indication of psychosis.
Something's wrong.
However, we can't make any conclusions about Noor's mental health just yet. There are other factors that must be present in order to consider that a person may be struggling with psychosis. For instance, when a person is actively psychotic, there are often impairments in their ability to communicate with others, such as answering questions in an interrogation setting. They may speak fluently, but their ability to understand and process information and remain on topic are typically impaired when there is active psychosis, among other observable issues and deficits. It could also be that Noor is prepping his alibi and explanations. This sort of dress rehearsal is common among criminal suspects. These statements can
And they be acting like a bitch, too, so you don't know.
likely be shown in court, even if he hasn't been Mirandized. While the suspect is in custody, no one has asked him questions to this point. Strange, to say the least. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The detectives start the interviews with Noor's parents by...
Alright, man. So, this is an hour-long video. And if y'all want to see the rest, like, I'm going to get to the end so we can figure out exactly what happened. But if y'all want to, y'all can actually click on the link in my description, at the top of my description, and watch it all the way through, which I'm probably going to do, but I don't want to take up this whole YouTube video to do that. But I'm going to pick it up at the end so we can figure out how this shit, like, ended. Alright, so let's do that. And if you want to, you can watch the shit on your own and then come back and watch my reaction. But yeah, let's see.
Whatever you hit this old couple with.
It's more of the same denials, but it won't be long before the horrible truth is exposed.
Look, he is fucking, he's sick right now.
After a short break, the detective returns to the interrogation room, armed with another common tactic, a last-ditch effort to, hopefully, elicit the truth from Norm. Of course, what she has to say hasn't really been confirmed just yet.
You know, I mentioned the sweatshirt that she had. It had blood on it, this full blood that your mom saw.
Mm-hmm.
We had it field tested. We have this ability, this lab, to come out and do some testing on it. We'll be able to determine that it comes back to the woman in that house we were talking about by the kennel. The blood belongs to her.
The truth is, I really don't know.
Poor Harry.
So you're going to leave that? That's going to be your story? That's what you're going to go down with? Is that story?
That's what it sounds like, officer.
That's all I remember, so I got no choice.
I don't believe you. How could you not remember? That's the biggest lie. Come on, Nor.
If you don't believe me, what am I supposed to do?
Who would believe that? Who would believe that? I would be an idiot to believe that.
What I say,
I'm just wondering, were they interrogating this nigga for 4 hours?
because you guys got gold based off the facts and assumptions.
Well, it's pretty good facts, isn't it? Really good facts. Actually.
Really good facts.
Really
On point facts.
You're not going to tell me anything different. That's on you. All right, it's 0 to 12.
The detective exits the room after concluding the interview, and Nor picks his monologue back up right
His
where he left
monologue,
off.
that's funny as shit.
These people are crazy, man.
Yeah,
They trying to make me seem like a cold-blooded killer. And the truth will prevail, so.
To me, it sounds like he's trying to talk himself out of what he did, you know, to make himself feel better. Either that and probably a mix of, I know I'm on camera, so let me make it sound good and look good, you know?
Truth always comes out.
Well, Nor's last statement will prove correct, just not in the way he envisions. After a few moments, a member of CSI enters the room and collects a buccle swab, fingernail clippings, and photographs.
It's over with.
Nor is given a jumpsuit to change into.
Get used to it, my boy.
To the powers that be, talk to the county attorney and such, okay? I'll let you know what's going on here with you. Obviously, like I said, we are here for something that happened that went pretty bad tonight. And you know exactly what happened. But anyway, you're going to be charged with murder in the first degree and attempted murder a second count. Do you have any questions for me?
Murder?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You killed a man tonight, so that's what happened.
It's tough. Yeah, he feeling it now.
We're going to be waiting for transport to the jail, okay?
He feeling it now.
How long do you think they'll take?
Less than an hour, I guess. My best.
Probably.
I mean, you ain't got nowhere to be. Talking about how long it's gonna take. What? In a hurry, right?
You know where I go.
Yeah.
It'll take as long as it takes, then.
That's
Now
tough.
that Nor is dressed in a jumpsuit and has been informed of the charges against him, he stops rambling to himself.
Yeah,
He may
it's
just
over
be
with.
tired from being in the interrogation room for hours,
That's what I said. 4 hours is crazy, bro.
but it's also possible that he has finally realized that his attempts to claim that he's innocent to the detectives and to himself
It's over
are
with.
futile at this point.
It's over with. Yeah,
For the record, it took about an hour for transport to arrive.
that's tough.
As the detective mentioned, this case wasn't standard. They had a wealth of evidence to work with, and the developments that came with the passing day,
Ooh, Lord, sheesh.
weeks, and
You
months
could tell he didn't give a damn about life, boy.
only further incriminated Nor. A search warrant for Nor's home was obtained shortly after the conclusion of his interview. The clothing he'd been wearing the previous night, as seen on dash cam and cops' video footage, was seized, and it was clear
I mean, you're supposed to get rid of that shit, bro. Like,
that
come
each
on,
item
bro.
showed the presence of blood. Between Nor's mattress and box springs, the police found a serrated knife, but it wasn't recovered at the time, as it appeared clean and showed no signs of blood. In addition, law enforcement was under the impression that the weapon that had been used was a metal club or pipe. Around this time, law enforcement received the details of Andy's autopsy, and the findings were shocking. It was determined the instrument used to inflict the wounds he'd suffered was likely not a club, but rather a metal object with a sharp edge. Immediately, the detective recalled the knife that had been located in Nor's bedroom. They traveled to the home and met with Nor's parents. They provided consent, and detectives collected the knife. Then, in a strange turn of events, just moments after detectives had departed Noor's residence, another call came in from the detective who provided details about the autopsy. He had some critical information to share, but this time, it was a development concerning Noor. Apparently, he'd been reviewing dashcam footage that showed Noor leaving the crime scene. And there, tucked into Noor's waistband, was a long...
God, the man, bruh. This was... Oh, my God, bro. Somebody had to have got fired on this case, bruh. Like, and y'all didn't see this sticking out of his fucking waistband? Are y'all dumb?
Silver object. As it turns out, one of the detectives had made a mental note of another item while at Noor's home. It was a metal spatula.
What I tell y'all, man? It looked like a fucking spatula. A fucking spatula, bro. What can I say, man? I know.
Of all
I'm good at what I do, you know?
things. The handle was missing, and it had been placed on top of a freezer at the residence. Initially, there was no reason to believe this item was of any significance. However, armed with the new information, the detectives immediately returned to Noor's residence and collected the spatula. Upon closer inspection, what appeared to be smeared blood was visible on multiple parts of the spatula. In addition, the detective recalled having seen two small broken pieces of wood in the middle of the Anderson living room floor, where the crime had occurred the previous evening. Coincidentally, the pieces had been collected as evidence during the processing of the scene. The horrifying revelation came with the confirmation. The broken wood pieces had once formed a handle to the metal spatula. It had, in fact, been used to kill Andy and assault Harriet. It was as expected when testing of blood on Noor's clothing and the spatula was confirmed to match Harriet's DNA profile. Not anticipated, however, were the accounts of two jailhouse informants who'd spent considerable time with Noor after his...
Find out they snitching and shit. Like, you know, why are you telling the details of your case, fam?
arrest. It seems Noor had made such an impression on them that each came forward of his own volition. It was March of the following year, 2015, when Detective Peake agreed to meet with an inmate at the Polk County Jail at the request of the county attorney's office. The inmate informed the detective that Noor was planning on claiming a defense of insanity in his upcoming trial. There seems to be a common misconception that claiming a defense of insanity will somehow be preferable for an offender. Noor may have naively believed that he would serve less time if he claimed he was insane when he attacked the Andersons. Maybe Noor was trying to act crazy in the interrogation room when he was...
Because at first he got me. Y'all see my reaction. I was like, oh, this nigga gotta be, you know what I'm saying, a little wacky.
Having full-on conversations with himself. A couple of months later, the county attorney's office reached out to Detective Garcia and asked if she'd speak with yet another inmate who'd contacted their office due to concerns about Noor. This inmate explained that he'd found some of Noor's behaviors quite alarming during the 2-month period they'd been bunkmates. The inmate explained that Noor would often laugh to himself, and when the inmate would inquire as to what he was laughing about, it was in relation to his case and how he liked or enjoyed killing the elderly man.
That's crazy, dog.
The act, however, would prove fruitless for Noor. Ironically, this type of comment may simply have made Noor appear like someone with antisocial personality disorder, since claiming to have enjoyed the murder is more so indicative of a lack of empathy and a poor moral conscience, and not necessarily insanity. But clearly, Noor didn't know what he was doing, nor was he informed about what the defense of insanity means, or what it entails. He was likely desperate to avoid the consequences that he saw coming, and when people are desperate, they can act carelessly and end up making matters worse for themselves. By the time the trial finally rolled around in November of 2015, Harriet had also passed away.
Harriet had enough, man. And it's crazy because they say if you're... Like a lot of older couples, if one person dies, like if the husband dies and the wife follows shortly and vice versa, you know. I think they say it's like dying of a broken heart. So I don't know if that was the case because she was damn near 100 years old. Like, thank God for her. She lived a long life. But, you know, it's just like, I don't know if it was just due to natural causes or due to, you know, like she went through a lot through that last little stage and then she didn't even have her husband anymore. So it's like... what else is there to live for, you know?
Nor waived his right to a jury trial and instead left his fate to a Polk County judge. The prosecution proposed that Nor invaded the Anderson home with the intention of stealing from the pair, evidenced
And didn't steal shit.
by a jewelry box that had apparently been rifled through. A psychologist and witness for the defense testified that Nor was suffering from schizophrenia at the time of the attack. The prosecution's witness, however, had a very different opinion. The psychiatrist explained how Nor had told him of a green man with 4 arms who would sometimes enter and control Nor's body.
Alright, now.
The occasion where he viciously attacked the Andersons happened to be one of those very times. Of course, the psychiatrist didn't support the claim, which he cited as scientifically preposterous. Nora's insanity defense didn't come close to cutting it. The judge found him guilty of first-degree murder, in addition to other counts. In early January of 2016, Nor was sentenced to life in prison plus 2 years.
Love it. I love
and was
it.
also ordered to pay $150,000 in restitution. However, a true motive was never established
Yeah,
with
I really wanted to know why. Like, this nigga's an idiot.
certainty, and it remains a mystery to this day. We reached out to Nor for a comment on his case, and in the hopes of solving this mystery, and he replied with a letter from prison. He wrote that he is currently on communication restrictions, which indicates that he's continuing to act irresponsibly, even while behind bars. He was able to send us a letter, though, despite his restrictions, through another inmate. This may be an indication that he enjoys breaking the rules and attempting to outsmart the prison guards. It's possible that he manipulated the other inmate, who could potentially get in trouble for helping Nor send this letter. Nor went on to claim, quote, that the criminal justice system falsely found me guilty, and that my lawyers were ineffectively representing me. Then he used the words financially crippled to describe his situation, likely as a manipulation tactic to attempt to gain sympathy. He then demanded that we financially assist him with $1,000 to
Trying to pimp these niggas, bro. What? This nigga got some nerve, man.
ensure his correspondence, which we
If the creators of the show agree, then send the money to my books.
assist him with $1,000 to ensure his correspondence, which we declined.
Facts.
Nor
Fuck outta
finished
here.
his letter stating that I should be in a place receiving treatment, not in prison, serving life.
Anyway, guys, man, this was a great video. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Explore with us. I just can't believe the incompetence of these officers, man. Nobody thought to see what's going on with the man in the hoodie. Oh my god, that's just so frustrating to see. You know, like, look at this shit, y'all. I can't get over this. Like, you're staring the man in his face. He's got the fucking spatula, murder weapon hanging out of his fucking hoodie. You know, like... Alright, have a nice day, sir. You know, beautiful day today. It's a horrible thing that happened inside here. But yeah, you have a great one. Like, what? Incompetence at its finest. All of y'all should be fired, fam. Alright, the camera crew did a better job of describing this dude than the actual police officers on the scene, which is crazy as hell to me, bro. None of them should have jobs. Anyway, guys, let me know how y'all feel in the comment section down below. This is now y'all seeing what type of content I like to watch. This is not the only type of content I like to watch, but I feel like it's something that you guys would enjoy and I would enjoy too, not just me. I'll be watching some of everything on YouTube, you know. But anyway, guys, let me know how y'all feel in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell their Aunt Jim, Mama, tell their Uncle Joe. He's still a hard. We'll see you guys in the next motherfucking video, and I love y'all, man. Peace. We out, baby.